a tout vraiment magnifique. Mes mains dulcinées m'ayant planté là, c'est à moi que chante tout ça.
Mr. Bam will stay behind, and he will perform one of the most popular piece of music in Asia, especially in Asian heritage. Scored 999 roses. Let's give him a big round of applause once again for the performance.
Surprisingly good duelist, as Frozen's going to be taking a bit of trouble. That is going to be the ultimate forced out. Nocturne's coming in, trying to get the trade damage. Street Smurf's already grabbed one on the back end. Cool Guy Tony is going to be charmed up. And now the dashes are coming through. Autos are going to be very, very slow. Cool Guy Tony is going to drop double kill already for Street Smurf as he's looking for the... He's going to find it, and triple kill already coming out for this Ari. Trundle so tanky, and now the counter engage is coming through. Cool Guy Tony trying to get as much damage onto Geico as possible, and is not going to be there as I see another roll. Street Smurf, he's just there first to every fight and not viable. He's trying to do his best to cut it out. Piggy Powder has dropped. Too aggressive as Kaiso's going for the 1v3, looking for everybody. Gonna grab Geico, gonna grab one, gonna grab two, not just yet, gonna pick up Frozen of either squad, and that's gonna be a good pillar. Not viable is in trouble, taking Frozen down, forced to walk away. Nightingale's gonna get chunked out already. He's gonna be the first one to drop as Piggy Powder is gonna die on the backside. But this fight is just going completely in the favor of Rice as that double kill has already been grabbed up, and Vest is gonna pick up the next one. This is gonna be a 2v3. The Solators are trying to do everything that they can. Vest is gonna be in trouble. The Kite Back is gonna be there. Cool Guy Tony using his ultimate, not in range yet. Vest is gonna be the first one to drop. The ultimate's coming through. Cool guy Tony's going to land it, but already a double kill, and the follow kill is going to be grabbed by Nightgale, not allowing the triple kill for Kaiso, but this Akali is just on a tear.
And it feels good to be back already. Rice Farmers taking a 2-0 advantage in the series over Sick Game Riot. Trying their best to come back. The series has been rough for the side of SGR. Hasn't managed to find the amount of advantage that we expected. But these players are fantastic. Street Smurf is the returning veteran, and he doesn't want to go out with the broom. So this is just me and Lolo for our last game of the night. Potentially more to come, but it won't be with us. How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, Found. I'm excited to see if SGR can bounce back. Really want to see what they can bring to the table now. It looks like it's going to be a bit of a change up with the bot lane now. Geico going to be on something with a little bit more damage output. We do like to see a bit of that. And of course, the denial pick with the Nami taking away from this Lucian. It could still be flexed, of course. Let us note as well that we've got a couple of roster changes from the winning team, from Rice Farmers, putting Nightscale, who is in fact a top laner, out of the support role into that top role, and putting Mr. Anonymous Chris down there in the support position.
Yeah, Anonymous Chris, the coach, the Smurf, the multi-role phenom, being able to come in and play multiple different shoes. He was jungle, now he's going to be support. I mean, this is just so much versatility that SGR has to think about. And when you're in this position where you're 2-0 down and you're seeing another change come out from Rice Farmers, I mean, you have to just be looking to play your own game and pick your own chance and be like, hey, we're going to need to outdo them and play better to get our first win in this series.
For sure. And Pigu Pounder, he did have a pretty good performance the last time he was on the Bear. It didn't actually end up netting a win for SGR when these two teams faced each other, but he did have a very good performance necessarily. So looking to definitely improve on last time. But the Nocturne has been taken again from Cool Guy Tony. So Rice Farmers again looking for picks, looking to make those global plays happen. I would note as well, of course, that Nightscale, he's playing top lane against Archangel. He was meant to be the starting top laner for this lineup when they started the season. I think he's played support twice. I think this is actually his first top lane game for Rice Farmers. But he's come in right at the end at the perfect time. So I'm excited to see how he goes up against Archangel in this top lane as well. Of course, the top lane picks being held potentially for that counter pick for Archangel on R5. But it is going to be a Katarina ban as well, which notably Kaiso, we haven't seen it from him yet, but that is his actual secret hidden boss character. So SGR not wanting to deal with that. So they're taking away the Ahri and they're going to take away the Akali as well. So they're going to say, Kaiso, what else have you got for us this time?
Yeah, Rice Farmers opting to leave that mid pick for later on in the draft allows the pinch to come through. I mean, I'm really interested to see. Kaiso has been fantastic throughout this entire season. On every champion he's played, which granted has only been 2, he's played extremely well on them. So what's the third champion in his bag? What does he have in the toolbox left? I mean, he's been such a big focus for the side of Rice Farmers and what they want to do. They always want to draft around their mid lane. And with the hover of Akali, this is Street Smurf saying, I want this matchup, and he's going to blind it. If I know this man, he's going to blind it and force the reprisal from the side of Kaiso saying, can you beat me on the opposite end?
That's a Lilia top, isn't it? That's grown in popularity since those changes where she's increased sustainability, or maybe it isn't. I'm not sure yet. They're hot. Obviously, they've got to declare their hand now. They can change the assignments up a little bit, but it is going to be Archangel getting that counter pick on R5. So Nightscale, what has he got? It's going to be a Poppy coming out. Great into the Akali, as we know. Superb into the Akali because it completely locks her down. But Archangel, if he's got something he thinks he can play to actually like build himself a lead in this lane, he does have the opportunity here. Oh my goodness.
And before we even get on to this Kane Hunter Lolo, it feels good to be casting FOF. We just kind of glanced over. That is a Lilia mid lane for the side of Kaiso.
Yeah.
Drafting this champion who kind of fell out of the meta for a long extent. When she was the most powerful jungler in the game, she was extremely abusive to play against. And as a mid laner, if she does manage to get wave control, you know your Wraith camp is just gone. She's going to take it on respawn, enemy Wraiths, her Wraiths, and get massive advantages. I've seen some of the players be eking into doing this, and I'm so excited that it is finally coming back. And FOF gets to be one of the first places we get to see one of these more interesting styles from a mid laner who's had so many tools already.
I I think Kaiso definitely has got more, more tricks up his sleeve that he wants to showcase in this finals. We should also note the Kane on the opposite side. I think that's extremely bold from SGR, picking it into a Poppy, which is definitely going to lock it down a little bit, as well as the Akali. So a lot of value being gotten out of that that W. So also I am wondering whether SGR want to stick this Kane, put it on Pigu Pounder, which therefore Archangel is going to be on the Volibear in the top lane, or whether they do want to switch it the other way around and have Kane up there in the top lane. It's not unheard of. My guess
It's definitely doable.
My guess would be it would be the Volibear in the top lane, if only just because I think that's going to be, he's got a lot of power early. He should be able to set up a little bit of priority against this Poppy just because of how much damage he can do in those early levels. But we'll have to see. Archangel's, he's definitely shown already in the league that he's got a multitude of, he's got a bit of a champion ocean as well. So I'm sure he's comfortable on either of these, or on the Akali even, who knows.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we see the Kane go mid, the Volibear go jungle, or something like that. But I do expect Archangel to take this Volibear. He's been very much a bruiser player, something he indexed in very heavily in the first couple games. Plus, Volibear has no interruptible dashes for the side of Poppy to abuse, and the other two champions do.
Yes.
So don't want to give Poppy her main advantage, which is being able to stop all dashes and ground them immediately after. But, I mean, Rice Farmers, they've picked a composition where they're just trying to brawl. They want to all be in basically melee range. Even Lucian will be extremely close range and try to burst out these single targets. And if you're looking at this composition for Sick Game Right, Geico has a bullet on his head. Everybody is going to be looking for this misfortune. And when she's ulting, she cannot move. And there's a lot of targets who have easy ways to get to that backline.
Yeah, I mean, the Misfortune, of course, wants to play around these choke points and potentially, set up dives with that that bullet time. But as you said, Rice Farmers, once again, they've gotten the sort of tools that they want to set up those plays where they excel at. They've got Paranoia on deck. They've got the Lullaby, of course, from the Lilia to set up easy picks as well. Not to mention, they can isolate targets with the Keeper's Verdict from the Poppy, so they can play their game very, very happily. Not viable Anonymous Chris. I'll be keeping my eye. I mean, all of these matchups are interesting because these teams are really sourcing up their drafts. But I think we should keep an eye on the bot lane as well, because when SGR have done well, it's definitely, as you've said, it's been around those side lanes, whether Archangel can get a lead in the top lane, but particularly whether Geico can get ahead on this Misfortune, because as you said, he's got his work cut out for him. He's definitely got a lot of threats on his head, but whether he can actually build a lead, get those, those crucial bullet times that can actually completely turn fights for his team. He didn't have the, he couldn't really provide much impact on that Ezreal, but maybe this is the champion to actually turn things around for them. We'll have to see.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, SGR playing around their sidelines has been the name of the game for them. But, Street Smurf, the captain, the FOF mainstay, been here since season 1. Former champion has put the ball in his hand, saying, I want the Akali, I want the aggressive assassin. And he's looking for Kaiso, trying to come at his neck, making sure that there's not going to be any more shenanigans in this mid lane. And these two players have been the showcase of the team, whether they're performing well or not, and I'm really going to see who's going to get the upper hand in this mid lane matchup.
For sure, and Street Smurf, as you mentioned, a former FOF champion, does have already a team with his name in it, which has a hoodie found. So whether this might not be the tournament where he gets another one either way, but if you should check that out as well. Like, we do have a merch store now, FOF, as we are going to get the plugs in just before the action happens. But yeah, go check out the merch store on FOF. Pre-orders are finished, but we will be getting more stock in soon, and they are some beautiful hoodies. I put in a little bit of an order, and I'm going to be, I think, the only person with an FOF hoodie this side of the Atlantic found, and I'm very excited for that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, until I get a chance to get to Britain and wear my FOF hoodie with pride also, that's definitely on my box to check soon. But, I mean, we can't forget, this is something we have not put enough note on. This is the championship. This is the finals. Mythic will have no more games after this. The best team will be decided. So, I mean, I really cannot wait for how the series has shaped up so far. And if there's going to be more games left to play, or we're going to have a quick 3-0, and Rice Farmers is just going to be able to take everything so easily. As this is just going to be an all-in chain, and Archangel's looking for it. And that early level 1, gotta respect it, first blood. As the level 2's here, Kaiso roams down level 2 and grabs a kill also. I mean, you cannot be expecting this for the side of SGR or the side of Rice Farmers.
I'm very glad I got the plugs in quickly, because these guys are not going to give us much more opportunity to talk about anything other than the action here. Archangel did decide to take that Kayn into the top lane, and Nightscale did not respect the level 1 with the Ignite. So now Nightscale's already ahead on this Kayn. It doesn't matter if you can, you can shut him down, but not if he's this far ahead already. He's got the TP. He's already got long swords on deck. So he's looking to establish another kingdom, as he's done so many times already in the league.
Oh yeah, the 16-year-old Phenom is looking to maintain that early advantage topside. People are really surprised with how much damage Kayn actually does level 1. If both ends of that Q, it's one of the highest damage level 1 abilities in the game. So gotta respect it. And taking it all in as Poppy, that to me just seems like ill familiarity with this matchup. Archangel consistently getting good trades down. Conqueror stacks being leveled up, as Pigu Powder is going to be here. That's going to be hooking. Frozen's going to be in trouble, but the gank is here, and Geico grabs it. And Iron Curse is going to be the first death for him. Coach is not strong enough, giving over a kill already.
No, a Nightscale I don't think is necessarily diveable. That is still quite a tanky champion. And we should note also that, yes, that is going to be that's going to put Geico ahead. And whilst Kaiso, it seems to be doing pretty well on this Lilia pick, of course, it is going to allow him a pretty decent push. Pigu is not giving him much room to breathe at all. Even with that kill he got off that roam, he still has to be careful.
Yep, absolutely. Kaiso going in, getting the good wave pressure. It's really good on the side of Pigu Powder, though, to show in this mid lane and look for some pressure. Kaiso forced to walk away. Stun going to land, but that watch out leap. Weird spell name, actually, is going to keep him safe, as Street Smurf looking to be aggressive, but Anon Curse is already here trying to get a very safe sub out for the side of Kaiso.
Yes, and Anonymous Chris able to roam up and dissuade that play. Cool Guy Tony now coming up here, I think in allowing Nightscale actually to get a little bit of a push under, because he was really suffering with the amount of pressure that Archangel was putting on him. So I don't know if they go for this. Do they go for this?
Yeah, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of damage on the side of Archangel. He has a lot of utility available to him. But now that the wave is still going to be frozen away from the tower, you have to push this in, but you need to be concerned because the Pigu Powder is just around the corner.
Yeah, it still looks like they're going to try desperately to get that crash. They do manage to get the crash. That was the intention here. Nightscale doesn't have TP, so if they didn't if Cool Guy Tony didn't expend that time getting up there to help him out, his lane was over. It's already in a pretty bad spot, but he has got himself some Ruby Crystals. He's a little bit less killable now. He's still got to be wary, though, because Archangel's got the Ignite available once again. Has already expended his TP, but probably is going to be able to get himself a crash of his own and be able to maintain his item advantage. So it's still looking like a little bit of a kingdom up there in the top lane. Cool Guy Tony, he is going to have to potentially play more damage control. But of course, once he's got 6, he can do that very easily while he's farming camps. So that is definitely something that works to Rice Farmers' benefit.
Absolutely. Kaiso already getting that mid push onto the Kali. Safe wave clear for the side of this Lilia, but this is spotted. Frozen's going to be here. Kaiso forced to walk away. Moves and speed is a little too much in the early game with that Lilia passive stacked up. But yeah, now this is going to be a free push out for the side of Not Valuable and Anon Curse. And whenever free push outs happen, you have to be scared of this Nautilus being anywhere on the map.
Yes, Anonymous Chris has already shown previously that he's a little bit of a... He'll definitely make those proactive plays. He's already shown in the mid lane previously. Street Smurf now has to be a little bit careful because Cool Guy Tony, he's not 6 yet, but Anonymous Chris is in the area. He's going to get spotted, though.
Yeah, and look at that wave clear already. Just an amp tone on the side as Archangel's going to look to continuously fight. The shield is not going to be there for Nightgale as Archangel not using the Q yet. Didn't want to get it disrupted. Auto's coming through. That's Ignite's going to be there. Q is not going to be enough. W is going to miss, and the fight is still on with the pots ticking. Nightgale still walking up, trying to get that passive. Going to get the grass prop off of him to neutralize that trade. But the healing is going to be there, so if you're not paying attention, you need to know that Kayn can come back with some extra HP. as Anonkers getting the flash, getting the hook, and this is Frozen finding himself dead already, not viable, grabbing it. A beautiful engage for the side of Anonkers.
That's a great response from Rice Farmers. Cool Guy Tony wastes absolutely no time. As soon as he hits 6, jumps down there, getting more value off of this Nocturne pick. And that is going to net a kill for the Lucian. That's crucial because if this champion doesn't get himself some resources early, then he's not going to have that same, that impact in fights. But that's going to look really nice for Not Viable. It's going to allow them to get a push in as well and manage to get themselves an early Drake.
Yeah, this jungle advantage has been massive so far this series. Once again, Cool Guy Tony finding a gank, nothing really being found for the side of Pigu Powder, and the farm is just going massively into the advantage of the side of this Nocturne, who's just been able to full clear with basically reckless abandonment, not getting punished on either side of the map.
No, and Pigu Panda's not making him pay for it, as you said, and he can just full clear because as soon as his ult's off cooldown, he can just go and set something up whenever he wants to. And that works to Rice Farmers' playstyle. We've talked about this already, that when they'll so decisively react to plays, that's what really, I think, has set them apart from all the other teams in the league more than anything, is that when a play happens, they don't even need to say anything. They just go. And it's so hard to react, particularly when the lights are off. And SGR, they've gotten punished for it once again. That's going to put Frozen on his second death of the game. That's going to put a push down and also allow priority in the top side, allow Rice Farmers to get a little bit of the sights on Herald too.
Yep, but it is still looking okay for SGR. This Herald is going to go into the advantage of Rice Farmers, but with this early advantage for the other side of Archangel, he has been a massive player so far this year, and him getting an advantage, having that CS advantage plus that kill. I mean, Kayn is a champion that can always be a threat at being extremely difficult to deal with, especially in this mid to late game where he has all those items to come in and continuously heal with that Ross form.
Yes, and well, he doesn't have Ignite, and so
Geico's going to be in trouble. Calling is going to be forced. Sleep is going to be there, and Kai'So is going to find all the damage. Geico being forced to walk away. Auto's coming through. Ultimate is going to be there. Cool Guy Tony's going to grab one. Kai'So is going to barely live on the end with the heal and the move speed. Not viable. Has gotten the dash. Looking to get autos in onto Frozen. Slow's going to be there from the red buff. Hook's going to follow. Frozen's going to find himself dead. This bot lane is a tragedy for the side of SGR as all the kills are going to go over. But Street Smurf is looking for blood. He already has found one. He's going to find two. A flash in for the Akali. Now the kite out's going to have to be there. Red he's going to land. Not enough damage. Street Smurf is going to die, but has done all he could to save the play, but still not enough as Rice Farmers gets more off the advantage.
Oh God, an absolutely valiant effort there from Street Smurf. Manages to save what was a catastrophic play for the side of SGR. Rice Farmers getting everything they wanted out of that play. And once again, we see this exchange of them in the top lane. And
oh my God! Solo kill coming. Not enough. Shield's going to be there. And Nightingale got it with the shield from the buckler. Well played on this side of the Poppy.
And this is the thing. You can get the cheese level 1, but it's still Poppy. She's not very easy to kill. And he plays that out great, and this is looking really rough for Archangel now, who once again just hasn't been able to have the same impact as we've seen previously. But going back to that play beforehand, Not Viable is now casually 3-0-3 on this Lucian. He's already got a Kraken Slayer on deck. That is going to be the evolution, by the way. We're going to be seeing a bit of a Rust play in here. Obviously better against tanks, but nevertheless, yeah, that Lucian, I already said before, he needs to get a lead early. He's got a lead.
Yeah, 10 minutes on the clock, already getting that transform. Massive advantage for the side of Archangel in the next fight, since he did lose one previously. But, I mean, the blood is just flowing in this bot side. And Geico and Frozen have been unable to find any advantages here. And while Geico hasn't been dying a lot, the Frozen has been punished significantly. And now here comes the flash. As just as I say it, I jinxed it, and Geico is down. Not Viable has picked it up. Pigu Powder taking a bunch of damage in reprisal. Going to get the smite, prevent the second dash in, as now Street Smurf is going to be looking for a non-curse. Ultimate's going to be there. R2's coming soon. The E's going to land, and so much damage from Street Smurf, who still has the R2 available. Going to get the dash back up to Cool Guy Tony. One's dead on the side. Not Viable, still alive, but a double sleep for the side of Kai'So. In the mid and 80 carrier looking for everything. Pigu Powder forced the ultimate out, but it's not going to be enough, as Kai'So is going to taunt him, going to spam him, and going to grab another one as just a double kill grab for the Lillian.
Everything is... Guy goes back! That play went on long enough for him to die, respawn, and get back to finish off with just a little bullet, make it rain up there. As actually,
And
this
we
was
missed
happening
it.
on the other side of the map. Yeah. Yeah, you don't kill her very easily now, do you? It's a bit unfortunate, but I mean, even with the rust, it's just it's not. She's too tanky, and she does quite a lot of damage. So.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Archangel, oh, he been so good throughout the season so far, and now just struggling in this lane with Poppy being just a big neutralizing threat. Good W to prevent it, and God, the garage sale is right. I mean, it's just nothing being completed up for the side of SGR for anybody other than Akali, who has the Mythic.
No, and again, I mean, the previous game, Kaiso played a blinder on the Akali. Street Smurf will have to absolutely 1v9 this game to actually put them back, and he's down on CS. But if we look across on the other side of the board, everyone's got a bounty apart from Cool Guy Tony and Anonymous Chris. They don't really mind about that either. We see a lot of damage already sitting there, and also, yeah, it's so hard now for Piku Pounder to even look at this Drake. It's maybe there's an angle.
Yep, Anonymous taking a bunch of damage. Who's going to land onto Frozen, who's going to be in trouble. But the backline is not going to be there. Geico forced to flash away and is just going to get called down by the side of Not Viable. Grabbing another kill. Piggy Powder is going to find himself looking at the gray screen yet again as SGR's chances, their hopes of winning a championship are soon to be dashed, as this is another lost team fight. Street Smurf doing everything to stay alive and is barely going to make it. But Rice Farmers are just on a tear looking to catch everybody. And this is another dragon because with their next one fight.
You know, I feel
again,
for
top lane.
Do we need to see this again? Archangel's trying, man. He's trying.
Well, he's just gonna get stunned. Good positioning from the side of Nightgale, and then once this happens, it's not enough damage as the healing is not gonna be enough. And this Poppy's is on a tear. Another solo kill in a game where you've already been so far behind. Archangel's just feeling the pressure to carry and just does not have enough tools in the bag for himself.
Who do you like more in the fight, Found? The small Yordlast or the 17-year-old Edgelord? Well, this time around, I think I know who my money's on. And Nightscale, his first top lane performance as the starting top laner for Rice Farmers in FOF, and he's looking pretty good so far after that, you know, that level 1 blip. On the other side, by the way, I will mention, I feel for Geico. It's so depressing. He gets a bullet time off on 3 people, but he doesn't have a Mythic. It doesn't do any damage because he's so far behind. He's 2 levels behind his opposing AD carry as well. And there's nothing really much he can do. He's just going to get collapsed on and killed again because Cool Guy Tony can basically do that to him now off cooldown if he wants to.
I mean, yeah, the mental of SGR is just, it has to be close to shot. I mean, this is going to take a lot of grit, a lot of determination from this team if they hope to come back so far down already. I mean, they do still have tools, champions that do scale quite well, but I mean, at this point, the saving grace, the hope is going to be Street Smurf, your captain, and he's going to have a lot in his back pocket in these fights. It's just going to be the one guy who's going to carry it because Not Viable is so strong on this Lucian 6-0-5. I mean, he's liable to just two-shot anybody. Hook's going to land. Piggy Powder's in trouble. Ultimate's going to be there from Cool Guy Tony, forcing the flash away from the side of Piggy Powder, but that's another big cooldown loss.
There's 4 people there, and Cool Guy Tony is still confident enough because his team's here to back him up.
He just doesn't want to give up. He's just found another hook. Geico is going to die instantly, and Archangel's not going to get a dash into the wall, not going to get a life or a prayer as Nightscale grabs another one. He's mad about this first blood. He wants more kills onto this game.
So, I don't know what to say there beyond the Archangel's been punished for his hubris before in the season, and this R5 Kane is just not paying dividends, unfortunately. That is going to be another Herald going over. Cool Guy Tony is just going to casually pick that up after another one fight. I mean, there is a 1,000 gold sitting on Not Viable's head. So, yeah.
Yeah,
there is 1,000 gold.
He's dead too. He's dead a little too early for that one.
Yeah. So, and I mean the Herald's available for this play should they want it. There we go though. That's a flash. I mean, how do they pursue this? Just Nightscale can goal keep for the entire team. As I mean, I think Found might have just considered this an all foregone conclusion, but for the time being, I'll hold it down then. Doesn't like Ulgai Tony is going to pick up one. Kai's from the other side going to get himself a double kill. Street Smurf left all alone once again. This feels like deja vu. And can he get out of there? Can he pull another bit of Houdini? Probably not. Not Viable's chilling there as well. Can he get... Oh, it was so close. He tried to get back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, woo, subbing in for me, doing the best that you can. I mean, Mike happened in and out. This is why you need the multi-talented color casters being able to fill the void. But, I mean, there's definitely a void in this game so far, as this Rice Farmers have just been too good, just being better across the board and punishing every mistake SGR has had.
Yeah, and it really, it's Rice have shown that they can take a lead and snowball it, and they've done just that. They've gotten everything on the map. They've gotten the Heralds, 2 Drakes, 10k gold lead at 17 minutes. You really do wonder how SGR can pull themselves back into this game. They've got, what have they got available to them? They've got bounties. Let us remind ourselves that this is the season of bounties. There are definitely quite a few available on the map. Doesn't matter.
Oh, absolutely. And this is another doesn't matter. Geico's dead already, and Frozen's going to join him as the bot laners don't want to die alone. 2 kills grabbed up for the side of Rice Farmers, and they are looking to make this game fast. 17 minutes on the clock, Rift Herald spawning. And this is could be very close to the game if there's not going to be any real wave clear, which there is not for the side of SGR.
No, and no one wants to step up into that, do they? They could get dived so easily. That's going to be at least 2 charges.
I mean, at this point, save the KDAs, guys. This is not going to be a winning fight. You need to wait for that Rift Herald to die. But 3 charges already. Hook's going to be there, and Encore has found the most valuable target in Geico. The fight is forced away. Ultimate big, and that is a bunch of trade damage, as Street Smurf is not going to be able to get that last kill with the cool guy. But this is the first fight where it's looking like there's enough tools for the side of SGR to take it. Auto's coming in on the side of Kaiso, who's forced to walk away. Geico's getting as much damage as he can. Ignite's going to be on, and Shutdown's grabbed, as SGR has gotten some signs of life in that last fight.
Okay, Geico caught 2 shutdowns. That's exactly what SGR needed. I don't think they're going to be able to get any more, because Nightgale's still chilling there, and he's very, very hard to kill. But that is going to net them also a Drake. And that's very important, because that's going to slow down the Soul. It is going to allow SGR a little bit of breathing room. And I do want to see how much gold Geico is sitting on and how many items he's got, because it was a great bullet time. If you can get a few more like that, another objective bounty as well, yeah, that's 2k sitting there, so he'll be able to pick himself up a second item or close to it. Signs of life. We may be overdosing on Copium. He is working his way towards an LDR. He should have that fairly soon, but there we go. There we go. He's got 2 items.
Yep, you can overdose on Copium, but not enough Hopium for the side of Pigu Powder, forced to flash away. Can't get anything in his jungle, falling so far behind, as Archangel's just finding himself on the gray screen. Nightgale's on the hunt. Anon Curse has the ultimate. The heal's going to be there. Ross is going to get enough, just enough to survive for now. The ultimate from Cool Guy Tony, forcing the flash away. Nearsighted for too long, too little, too late. Nami grabs one. Frozen is trying to stay alive, but this Poppy's so tanky. Oh, no. He's been taking the tower for ages, and Geico's going to get a shutdown going way too aggressive. And this feeding a bunch of gold into the side of this pocket of this 80 carry. And if you know anything about SGR, you know Geico is the man with the plan. They need him to be big for these team fights.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame that Frozen picked up the other shutdown. As I
say, Street Smurf is going to get hooked up, but you're tanking the tower, and you need to be scared because R2 is an execute, and Street Smurf is going to choose to not go for it, but just really aggressive, kind of getting a little bit sloppy for Rice Farmers, playing with their food a bit.
Yeah, they really shouldn't stick around too long because bullet time's back off cooldown now, and Geico's starting to do damage.
All by himself. Looks like they're going to opt to not chase it, but the bases have just went through. Kaisos is playing with no fear, and all that move speed making him so hard to catch, but I mean, if SGR knew he was by himself, you best believe they'd been looking for that kill.
Okay, so Rice Farmers definitely they're already spam pinging the Baron. They want to close this out now, so it could be a potential burger flip found. That's another avenue for SGR back into this game. What tools do they have? It looks like resets are being taken, and this is a relatively fast Baron with a Lucian that's already sitting on 2.5 items. So I don't know if there's an angle. It might just be a freebie.
Yeah, I would love to be able to participate in the burger flip, hoping that a steal is going to come through, but that's not going to be the case. Kukai Tony is going to get an easy smite up with Baron being taken at 21 minutes on the clock, as Rice Farm is going to look to close out this game in the next couple of minutes with all the tools they have. I mean, already 10K gold lead at the buzzer. It's getting close and really hard for SGR to fight with this big a deficit.
So Geico's equalized on items. He's still 2 levels down. He's got an angle. He needs to make it count.
I mean, at this point, Geico's the only one who's not massively far behind, but the rest of his team is just not going to be enough. I mean, he's basically fighting as the main character with a bunch of cannon minions, and it's going to be a bunch of hope in this 80 carries basket, and you're really praying for it. Nightgale's going to be getting knocked up. Going to be in a bit of trouble, but the ground is going to be massive. Geico's going to get the autos in.
Oh,
the
no.
is on the backside, and the fear is there, and Geico is dead. The raid boss is done, and SGR's hopes are going to be crushed as this last kill is going to go over. Archangel is not going to survive. Frozen's the last one of the SGR Kingdom, praying that the championship's not going to be out of their grasp just yet, but Cool Guy Tony is going to have backup, going to have his team food. Rice Farmers has been dominant across the board. Guys came in with a plan, came in with a goal, and it looks like they are going to be our FOF champs for the Mythic division. And what a team, going in and not dropping a single game. Give the Rice Farmers their credit. Uncle Roger would be proud. Well played for the side of our new champions.
They, in the words of, I don't know if this is copyright found, but fuyo for the Rice Farm. I can't believe I just did that, but it's deserved, man. As you said, these guys absolutely crushed this league, going undefeated, 6-0 in the regular series, 3-0 in grands. Admittedly, one was an FF, but still 2 unbelievably commanding games. And they switched up rosters basically every game. They cycled around their players and said, "Look, we're all cracked. We can play however we want, and we'll make it work." And they did, because they were always given an avenue that they could play around. And SGR put up a really valiant effort there, and I was hoping that Geico might be able to, get back into the game, build up some items, get a winning fight, but it was too little, too late. SGR, they've played fabulously in the regular season, and though that we didn't get to see the best of them in this series, I think they take a very well-deserved second. But yeah, congrats to Rice Farmers. They crushed it.
Absolutely, congrats to SGR. Fantastic. They did show a little bit of grit this game, coming back, getting some good fights into their advantage, trying to not go quietly into the night. But I guess it's really fitting that I'm joined by my favorite British caster, because as Rice Farmers, all of them are sitting there thinking it's good to be the king. And when you are the champs, and especially when you do it in as dominant in a fashion as they managed to. I mean, everybody was involved, from the coaches to the all the different players they had on this roster. I mean, they just were too good, and a championship well deserved. And FOF is going to be proud to have them in the pantheon of other great teams that have come through, because we've been around for a while, and you got to give credit to these guys, the staff, and everybody who's put together this show, because they've kept it going, and there's so many teams that are going to be immortalized, and now Rice Farmers is going to be one of them.
For sure. I don't know what more there is to say, fam, beyond I want to hear from them. I want to hear what they have to say. I want to know whether it's going to be consistent ego, and what they have to say for the rest of the teams in this league. But yes, I would love to see them come back. I want to see competition of this level again in FOF. It is wonderful to see the Mythic League come back, and I have really enjoyed being a part of it. So, found this has been wonderful. I want to see this again.
Yep, that's going to be it for us, the casting crew. But don't touch that browser. Stick around, because we will hear from the champs, our Mythic League Division champions, coming right up. And I personally cannot wait to hear what they're going to say and how they feel about being another set of winners.
Hello folks, Chris Edgeworth here with today's winners interview after our grand finals for the Mythic Spring Tournament, and I'm joined by our winners, Rice Farmers, and I'm joined by the coach and the everyman, journeyman, Nightscale, and Anon Chris. How are you feeling after the win?
Feel excited, of course, but also like it was kind of expected, easy 3-0, so nothing too big. Actually, our coach promised us to treat us out to a meal if we went 3-0, so a little happy for that. But otherwise, it was just expected.
Oh,
Hey,
it was.
Gab.
Oh my gosh, it was just so free, man. So free. These guys are just so predictable in how they play, and they thought they could beat us with our McDonald's Wi-Fi, man. I don't know.
Well, you folks definitely showed them in your 2.5 and 0 win. You know, little clock gap for the first
No,
game.
we had a mental gap in the first game, get the
Yeah,
free win.
there
But it
you
was
go.
gonna be a 3-0 anyway.
I mean, Pico Powder was a little scared. We understand. It's okay. They were FFing the
Yeah.
first game already.
He was sleeping on the job. I don't know. Kind of scared of our old jungler Alconic. Weird.
Let's talk about the first game or actually before we get into that, rather, I do want to preface with the clapping that was the round robin coming into this game, or this series rather. You folks 6-0 on the double round robin. Most of those games were brutal for the other team. What were your folks' thoughts on just absolutely smashing the season, especially since you folks had so many moving parts in this roster? I'll start with you, Nightgale, and then we'll go over to Chris on this one.
Yeah, I was only able to play one game because I had a lot of scheduling conflicts with the regular season. But I mean, honestly, I had total faith in my team. Like, I already knew that no matter who was playing, like, we will easily stomp them. So, I mean, honestly, I was kind of expecting all of that to happen, and I zero worries that we were not gonna lose a game. So for me, it's just again expected, and a little sad I couldn't play because I wanted to also stomp them, but just happy for my team.
Yeah, I mean, coming into regular season, I know we had a lot of things to work on fundamentally, but I knew all these teams were kind of bad. I think the only problem we had was SGR, but I mean, we're undefeated for a reason, right? So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk about the series at hand then. First game was a washout as there was the scheduling conflict, a little clock gap. As we come into the second game though, Nightscale, you were in this game, but you were on the bot side of the map in this one. Chris, you were piloting the draft though, I believe. So I'm going to start with Nightscale though. If you could give me your thoughts, or actually, let me start with you, Chris, because you did do this draft, right? What were your thoughts going into this draft, considering you folks did have such an interesting matchup with the Senna Wu and then the Panth Nakari?
Yeah, so basically, obviously, their bot lane strengths through Prio and roaming mid. So basically, if they're playing a safe bot lane, but can't really play proactive, the Senna Wukong is basically just good into anything. Basically, if you go even, we're winning, and if we're getting Prio, then we're winning, right? And so if we have the better engage and we just use the Nocturne to blind them, they really can't engage on us. And you can see it every time they would engage on Trundle, Pillar, or RER, we would just take the lights out and they would just die, So it's like fairly easy, especially if we have the Camille Pantheon matchup, because we knew that Archangel was practicing Camille, so we knew he was gonna be playing it in the finals. I don't know why they're just like copy drafting our Viego Ari. I'm pretty sure we're just way better on that than they are. We know the in and outs of that, so I don't know why they're just trying to copy pasta our drafts. So, yeah.
Well, in this matchup, Nightscale cosplaying as the support, but really the Wukong carry in the bot side. What was your experience in this game playing the Wukong?
Yeah, Violet and I have like practiced it a little bit in some scrims. That we're still new on it, so I was a teeny bit nervous. But after like the early game got going, we were like even in lane. Like coach said, like if we're even, we're basically winning. And so from there, I kind of knew it's just gonna be easy dub. And I honestly, I don't think I did that much that game. I think my team just kind of steamrolled them, and I was just happy farming and just doing my job in team fights. So I thought it was a pretty easy game.
I also think like SGR likes to play around vision towards mid. So basically, if they're catching our vision, it doesn't matter because if they start the objective first, we just win through our counter engage and we take the objective after. So we're trying to force them to play in our vision and regain control of it, and also regain control of the neutral objectives, so we can just kill them. But yeah.
Little bit of a follow-up, not a question that I prefaced you with, but just something I'm curious about because it popped into my head. Wukong is a champion that recently got the riot touch of the rando mega buffs, or at least that's been the consensus of the people that I've talked to about the changes that they did for Wukong, with the fact that he can now W over not just small walls but like large walls. And I'm just curious if either of you have any thoughts about Wukong overall as a champion, given these changes.
Necessarily, we haven't practiced Wukong jungle and scrims at all. We've only played like maybe one game. But we're just using it as a fake flex. So yeah, I think it's really strong in the bot lane though. If we have Senna, because it just gains control of just the wave.
Yeah, I
and it's good against all the AD carries right now except Xayah. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Coach. I think Wukong is actually most OP in jungle, personally though, because of the changes like dubbing over walls. You have a lot of new gank opportunities, as well as like the jungle buffs on. I think they buff his damage on his E. So I think Wukong just like really strong right now, in like pretty much any lane. So.
Yeah, the only reason why we picked up the Wukong is because I mentioned how the meta right now is low range AD carries. So if we're able to just hop on like an AD carry that's like Misfortune or Lucian or Ezreal, like it's just free.
Yeah. Well, Wukong, I just thought it was so crazy. Just overall the going over large walls. It's like the E buff in the jungle is good because of how jungle monsters take more magic damage. The W, even if it just went over small walls, would be a pretty insane buff for his overall jungle viability. All of these things together, I think, are just like wild. So I'm really interested to see how these things shake out, especially as you say with how the ADC meta is shaking up in the bot side now that we've seen the massive hyper carries getting tamped down after the start of the season. So. Let's switch gears though. Let's talk about game 2. This one, you both are on the Rift. The coach pulling the famed Jezzes and putting yourself in, coach. So, hey, no, I don't mean no disrespect, but so you're in this game, Chris. You're in the support role for this one. Nightscale, you're getting into your natural habitat of the top side. You find yourself on the Poppy, Nightscale. Chris, you're on the Nautilus. You bring in the spicy Lilia. This is I'm literally my icon right now. You folks can't see it when we're in the games, but I got the Lilia icon. Before I had FOF Esports, I had Lilia One Trick as my status. I played it support though. It was mostly to troll my friends because I'm like bowling ball coming all the way up to mid lane. Let's go. So anyway. So I really loved seeing this this spicy pick come in for our grand finals. You folks had to match up against the Kayn in the top side, which was unlucky, let's say, for Archangel. Talk to me a little bit, if you would. We'll start with you, Nightscale, and then we'll go to Chris on your thoughts about playing out this matchup.
Okay. First of all, I haven't played top lane actually in like 2 months or so. So I've just been practicing support top lane. I haven't played in a while, so I'm pretty rusty on it. You can tell by my level 1. But other than that, as soon as I got on the groove in, I mean, people were hyping Archangel up. They're like, he's like a 16-year-old prodigy or something like that. Honestly, I didn't think he was that special. His Kayn was pretty bad. I was able to punish him pretty hard, get 3 solo bolos. Pretty simple for my part, I think. The rest of my team also just kind of steamrolled them. So from there, I think, it was just a steamroll. After we're winning like all sides of the map, there's nothing they could really do.
Before you hop in on this, Chris, I did want to just say, it's like, who would win, the edgy teenager wielding a Scythe of a Dark God or 1W key? It's like,
pretty much.
It really do be like that sometimes. It felt really brutal to watch some of the fights where it looked like Archangel was sort of like, oh, I think this is my way in, and then you just see the steadfast presence come up. It's like, oh. So let's switch gears though, Chris. Talk to me about your thoughts coming in on the bot side of the map. Shepherding not viable since Nightscale has moved on up into the top side. What was your thoughts playing Caddy down on the bot side?
Oh man, I don't know. It just got easier, bro. Once I knew that this guy was gonna play Nami because we first picked Lucian, I already knew I was playing Nautilus, and we already prepped the level 1 where Lilia just full shoves against Akali and just comes by. I flash in, they're just dead, and the game's over.
I have
Dude,
to hold on real
dude.
quick. I have to complain, man. I'm trying to do some nice shit as an observer. I'm like looking over the map, like, oh, let's see how the jungle's developing, and I'm just like, the Lily is already bot side, and I just like cut into like right as you're getting the kill. I'm like, come on, man. Let me show some of the farming. Let me do something cinematic. So anyway, continue. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, so basically I told my mid laner Kai'Sa that they might draft Akali, and I told him that Lilia is a very good matchup into Akali because the Q range outranges her Q, and every time you trade, basically you just win free trades plus free prio, and so she gets the roam faster than Ahri does because they picked Ahri into Akali too. But basically it just disrupts her engage. We basically picked Poppy into it too, so basically two out of their 5 champs were useless that whole game, and I don't know, man. They just got draft gapped every those 2 games, dude. I don't know.
Pretty much coach gap.
Pretty much coach gap, team gap, you know.
Just how it be sometimes, you know. I think of the games that you folks played, these 2 games for today rather, as like these 2 games, not counting the first one, you guys smashed them pretty heavily.
Yeah.
And overall with the season, that's why I want to bring us to our final question. You guys were absolutely decisive in your matches here in our Mythic Spring Tournament. Well deserving of our first place for the title. What's next for you folks? What's next for each of you individually, but what do you think's what's next overall for the organization that is the Rice Farmers? Let's start with you, Chris, and then Nightscale.
I think I'm still gonna be coaching this team for the time being, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be coaching the main UW team. But as of right now, I'll be coaching this team, and we have a lot to show. I still have to teach them a lot, but I'm pretty sure we'll get it done. I'm pretty sure we're gonna play in some more leagues, but yeah.
Right on. What about you, Nightscale?
Yeah, so basically my goal is to stay into the collegiate team our school, and hopefully Chris will be also coaching us there.
You're at UW also?
And then, yeah.
Right.
So basically, almost our entire team is from UW.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my main goal: getting to the collegiate team and trying to win in that league. But on the meanwhile, we'll just continue playing with this team and trying to win some other leagues that we join.
Well, definitely, we're all going to be cheering for you and wishing you luck, except for maybe SGR. But this was quite a decisive victory for you folks here in Mythic Spring Tournament, taking our first place with an undefeated record of 8.5-0, 9-0 for you folks. So really looking forward to see if you folks end up in some other tournaments. We'll be cheering for you for sure, and best of luck, especially if you folks will be competing in the collegiate league. So we'll look forward to seeing that as well. Before we step away though, final opportunity for you folks. Any final thoughts, any shout outs, any banter you'd like to leave with us before we step away for the night? And we'll start with you, Nightscale, and then go to Chris.
Okay. Well, I remember for the second game that we beat them, not in this series, but they were saying that they were preparing for like a week to beat us, and we still kind of stumped them there. I think they spent another week preparing for this series, but as you can tell, it was even harder stomp. So I think maybe if they practiced like a year and we didn't do anything, then they could win. But yeah, I think that's like the only chance we could ever lose this series. So that's pretty much all I want to say.
Yep. What I gotta say, shout out to my boy Kai'Sa, bro. He said we gotta humble them a little bit. We gotta make sure they're a second place team, and we did that. Just from the first FF, bro. Holy, they got mental gapped, bro. I don't know, man. They prepped so. I've looked at their match histories, bro. They were literally prepping so much for us, and they just still played the same drafts the same way. they just got shit on and they're kind of trash. So I don't know. I don't want to hear them at all. I don't want to see a single type at all.
Oh, all right. I like it. The spicy end. Really, really enjoy that. Well, thanks so much for this interview. Really enjoyed to get to talk to you folks, and really was a fun time getting to watch your games this season. Really excellent League of Legends coming out of you folks. Like I said, wish you best of luck in the future with anything you folks choose to pursue in any of those leagues that you folks join. So that's gonna be it, though, folks. That's the wrap for the Mythic Spring Tournament. We've crowned our first and second place here with Rice Farmers and SGR, but also got to shout out, tip our hat to yesterday's matchup, RSL, the Cinderella story after the 0-6. The mirror of the Rice Farmers does lock up the third place for the end of our Mythic Spring Tournament. It was a really fun time to be a part of all of this, so I hope you all enjoyed it. I do want to shout out to all of the staff that made this possible, all of our fans and the teams that compete, that make it possible to put on this league and have a product to show and have a community around. We look forward to seeing you all back next week as we begin our heroic playoffs, and we look forward to crowning a champion there as well. In the meantime, folks, make sure to check out that FOF Press. Make sure to peruse our shop over at FOF Merch and all the usual shilling that we normally do. FOF Valorant, I think that's also coming up, so if you're interested in that, take a look at that as well. And that's going to be it for us this week. Congratulations to the Rice Farmers. Congrats to Chris and Nightscale here. And that's going to be it for our night, folks, and we will see you again on Monday for Mythic Playoffs. Have a good night.
Remember, I used to be that kid that every day would get rejected. Y'all got my story, the glory was painted on a song. I'm mortified but feel immortal. This pen to this paper always open up different portals. It's I and me, it's me and I'm by myself. I'm down the ride, I'm taking on the tide. Size of tsunamis touching the sky. I got a quick scan. It's time to move, leaving everything else behind. I got something to prove. I'm just riding away, no, I ain't running away. I got memories set, oh, I'm just finding my place where I belong to.